Hey everybody, back again for another wonderful video about the Oculus Rift. I'm back again, second video. I have my genuine Oculus Rift just kind of hanging out on my head here. I gotta be honest, I feel a little silly, but I went with executive decision here, production value. It's gonna stay, hopefully for the whole video. Not gonna lie though, it's really uncomfortable like this, and I'll get into that a little bit later. So I was checking out some of the comments that you guys left me about the first video, so I'm gonna try to answer some of those questions and touch on this a little bit throughout the video here. So basically this video, I just have a few notes I want to cover. I have some pros, cons, and some indifferences about the Rift here. All just my personal opinion. Some you've probably heard before. We're gonna hear some more though. So the main question that I've kind of been hearing from you guys is you want me to talk about the screen door effect, the resolution, and if any of this is a deal breaker. Well, I will definitely touch on that a little bit later in the video, so stick with me until that time. So I just want to go over kind of a few notes here that I've made about this thing. These can fall in any category you want. I'm just going to kind of shoot through it. So first I just want to talk about, so the first time you actually go into this thing, I gotta be honest, it's both good and bad. It's great because everything that you've been reading, all the shitty 2D videos that you watch that mean nothing, as soon as you put it on, no matter what demo you have, it just all clicks, it all makes sense right away. So, for those of you watching, obviously you'll get your turns at this, and you'll be able to put it all together. So it's kind of a bittersweet feeling because no time after that first time when you put it on, you never feel like that again. I mean, it's still great, but it doesn't really compare to the first time where you put it on and you're just like, holy shit, like. This is crazy. For me personally, I did the Tuscany demo, and you put it on, and first thing I did was I looked straight up, and the crazy thing is everybody talks about how it's all to scale in the Tuscany demo, everything's great, and it's true, and that's what's crazy because you put this thing on, you look straight up, and it actually looks like about, I don't know, 10, 15 feet in the air, goes all the way up. There's these huge wooden beams up there. The crazy thing is, though, when you're looking at it, it actually looks like those things are about 15 feet away. So that's when people are talking about scale. It means that things are they're talking about things of the right size and seem the right distance away, and that just helps with the whole, I guess, immersion factor. So that's great. And then again, the bittersweet portion of this is that every time I try other demos or I put it back on, like, yes, it's amazing, it's great, but it's something seems to be missing compared to that first time that I actually tried it. But definitely not a con by any means. Let's see. So another note that I have here is actually about the eyepieces. So one kind of annoying thing, and you heard me comment that this is actually really uncomfortable. I'm sure you guys have watched some of Bruce's videos, and he just leaves it on his forehead the whole time. He said he's using the C cups, which kind of makes sense. Now the problem comes to my next point here. If you're using either the A or B lenses, because they protrude out further, the C lenses are as close to the screen as possible. Now if you're using B or A, when you have this thing on like this, the actual lens portion of it is pressing right against my forehead, and I'm not gonna lie, it hurts like hell. So I don't recommend that at all. I'm actually going to adjust this guy a little bit because it's actually starting to hurt just a little bit. But you know what? Production value. Gotta take one for the team. A little bit of pain. Never hurt anybody. Let's see here. So that's the one thing just to kind of caution. And I'm using B. I find that to focus the best for me. The A lenses, just things were a little bit too blurry for me. C focused a lot, but now the negative about that is when you're using the C lenses, while things focus better, your frame of view is actually the least. So you can't see as much the A cups you can actually see the most. So I just went with a compromise, went with B. I'm pretty happy with that. Let me see what else I got. Okay, so the last note before the pros and cons here. So just to give you guys my opinion about the best games that I've experienced so far, and I've tried as many of the demos I can get my hands on. I've tried Team Fortress 2, Half-Life 2, everything that has its own native support, all that good stuff. So for me, the best that I've tried so far would have to be Half-Life 2, the roller coaster tech demo that I'm sure you guys have all seen millions of times on YouTube and God knows where else. And then there's actually a demo called Heli Hell. You guys might have seen that. It's actually a helicopter demo. You get to fly around this little randomly generated island. You can fire some bullets. You can't get out of the helicopter yet, but I think they're going to try to add that. But it has support for Xbox 360, so you turn this guy on. Works great. And I'll talk about that in a little bit here. So the reason that I'll start with the roller coaster demo. So the reason that that's great is because it starts off, you're going through a little town you guys have seen, and then you go up the lift. And the crazy thing is when you're going up the lift, you can turn and look down. And of any of the demos I've tried so far, that gives you the best sense of actual height. And that's why you see a lot of videos with a lot of these people who seem like they're being over dramatic. Some of them I think they are, but for the most part, you still get a sense of looking down, and you just get this huge, like, holy shit feeling. Like, I feel like I'm actually this high in the air. And it kind of goes back to the same thing I said about the Tuscany demo. You look straight up, it looks like the wooden beams that support the roof are actually like 15 feet away from you. So it's the same deal. You feel like you're hundreds of feet in the air, and unfortunately, without trying it, you're not gonna really know exactly how it all pieces together. But don't worry, guys. I know either you're gonna receive your Rift soon, or you're gonna find somebody that has one. It's gonna be all good, and you'll see exactly what all this is about. So that kind of evokes more of a fun, holy shit feeling. Heli Hell with the helicopter. That one's actually a little bit different. That one I tried the first day and it made me extremely sick. Mainly because when you're in the helicopter and you start, well, see, I made a terrible mistake here. I went as high as I could. I did a corkscrew nosedive with the helicopter straight towards the island, and it just, that was a really stupid idea. No one try that on your first go. I don't care how badass you think you are. If you have no motion sickness, doesn't matter. And the worst thing is, one little mistake like that is going to make you feel sick for at least a half hour. After I did that, took it off, 45 minutes later, still feeling extremely nauseous, like I wanted to vomit. But happily, I can report that after a week of on and off, testing and all that, I don't get nauseous at all. I can go into Team Fortress 2, I can play as the scout, I can, dart forward as fast as I want, jump back in the other direction, nothing. It's all good. So those of you who are going to get yours and you might feel sick right away, don't feel discouraged, because I felt like shit initially. You get over it. It's great. It all works out, and then you can literally play anything you want. I mean, I've done a few play sessions of maybe like 3 hours straight in Half-Life 2. No problems at all. Again, after the week though, I wouldn't try that initially. So that was good, and the weird thing, you get kind of a different emotion from Heli Hell, especially once you get used to it, because you can actually get going pretty fast. There's a bunch of trees on the island. You could go right through them, the leaves at least, and because the 3D is spot on and perfect, it literally looks like these leaves are just coming at your face. And the weird thing is, because you feel so captivated by this, and your eyes are telling you that you're in a helicopter, you're going like 60 miles an hour, either straight down or forward, but your body is not experiencing any of this. It creates this really weird feeling, at least for me. I get this weird feeling in my stomach, like I'm supposed to be feeling some kind of acceleration, but because I'm not, your body gets really confused. And it's not a nauseous feeling. I can't explain it. It's just a weird feeling where my stomach's like, okay, we're going fast, we're going through these trees, I should be feeling the sensation of moving forward like you're on a train or in a car. You just know you're moving forward even though the wind isn't necessarily hitting you. Doesn't matter, same thing. It's so you keep that feeling, but you just kind of keep going, and it's great. And the last comment I want to make just about my notes here is that Half-Life 2 actually, first time I played that, gave me a lot of emotions, which actually in my next video I'm going to try to show you guys this underwater demo with sharks, which by the way freaks me the fuck out, and I'll explain why later. And then a little bit of Half-Life 2, since you know, again, I feel like that is the best, and I can explain that a little bit better. So I'm going to move on a little bit here. Let's just jump ahead to the pros here. Let's get to the meat of the video here. I know this is kind of what you guys wanted. So, excuse me. So, all right. I just wrote a few down, no particular order. I may be leaving things out. I just few things for pros, few things for cons. I'll tell you guys what I think. So, first pro, no particular order. So I wrote perfect 3D. So, you know, I don't know if any of you guys have tried either a 3D TV with active shutter glasses or even a 3D computer monitor. Gives you a headache. There's serious eye strain, and mind you, this is not the Rift I'm talking about. This is other, you know, 3D devices. And because, you know, you're basically split down the middle and each eye sees its own screen that's, you know, being rendered at the same time, you feel, you don't, basically get there's no brain or eye strain that I've experienced even when I first started it, so that's great. No eye strain, nothing like that. And the 3D, you don't have to think about it to say, hey, you know, this 3D is off, my brain needs to fix this. Nothing. It's the same almost as if I were to just remove the mask and look at my hand in front of me, you know, compared to my desk, my speakers, it's in 3D. So as you look around in the Rift, again, from the demos I've tried, you know, the 3D is spot on, which definitely helps with the whole immersion factor. So awesome, great. Second thing I wrote down for the pros is immersion / sense of being there. So I kind of told you guys I would try my best not to be an asshole and throw that term at you, because that's what everyone says, and you know, no one wants to hear that because you're just going to get angry and you don't know what that means. I get it. So just to touch on that as a pro, the immersion's great. As soon as you put it on again, Tuscany demo, you feel like you're in the house. Sorry to throw that term at you guys again, but it's true. And the reason it's true is because of scale, sense of depth, and distance. So again, you look straight up. When it looks like the roof is actually 15 feet away from you, your brain starts to believe a little bit more, hey, I'm really in this house. And to be honest with you right now, that's about all I can say about that.